One day is not enough to explore Khajuraho. We visited the western group of temples and today we'll be visiting the southern and the eastern group of temples.
Welcome back in vlog of Bonkers Note. This is a very foggy and misty morning from Khajuraho.
This is Urvi with my husband Utsav behind the camera and it's already drizzling. And if you like our content, please do like, share and subscribe to our channel Bonkers Note.
Past the Ghantai temple, we'll come back here when we explore the Jain group of temples later today. We are moving through the villages to get to the eastern group of temples. It's early in the morning, raining, so not many people around. We are just moving through the neighborhood, a very intense Indian rural vibe. We'll be going through almost a kilometer walk from our stay. We'll be exploring Javeri Temple, the first temple in the eastern group of temples in Khajuraho. And this temple has a deity without a head. Initially it had a head, but with the ravages of time the head is destroyed or lost. Today we have this headless statue of either Shiva or Vishnu. Still the architectures and the sculptures that are preserved here is quite stunning to look at. We didn't intend to spend too much time here, but it's raining very heavily. Unfortunately, we are stuck right now in the temple.
It still looks pretty gloomy and it's raining heavily. We are almost stuck at this temple for about half an hour and we are still hoping that the rain will stop and we'll get to explore some more of Khajuraho. We can see little droplets of water trickling through these beautiful structures. I have never thought I'll experience Khajuraho like this. December and January is not the season where it rains here, but we cannot defy the rules of nature. So here we are exploring Khajuraho in this rainy and misty day.
The rain gods have smiled upon us. It has stopped drizzling. From the Javeri temple, now we are going to the Vamana temple. It's a short distance, so let's run. The eastern group of temples in Khajuraho are known to be lesser preserved than the temples found in the western group, but still we can see in the Vamana temple there are so many cultures made of sandstone. There are Hindu god sculptures of apsaras and couples present at the exterior of the temple.
So we have made it to the Vamana temple and this temple is dedicated to the incarnation of Lord Vishnu. According to Hindu mythology, Lord Vishnu once took the form of a dwarf to save the world and that is the meaning of Vamana. The structures that are there on this temple wall are very intricate and most of them are very well restored. That makes it more beautiful.
But as we were about to leave the Vamana temple, it started pouring again. We are stuck here, not sure if we'll be able to see all the temples here. As we were going to the Ghanta temple, we could see this restoration work going on here. Not sure what temple is this, but full-fledged work is going on. There is a lake nearby and I can see some paddy fields. Actually, this is full-on village life going on both sides. We are just two tourists walking here.
Never have I thought that I will open the gate of a temple to get into it.
This temple apparently got its name from the beautifully carved out bell designs on the pillars. Most of the temple has been lost due to the ravages of time, but whatever remains is really worth visiting. People come here to see the bell design, and this gate, especially behind me, is very well designed. We are again stuck due to the rain. After waiting for some time, now we are walking to the Jain group of temples. Let's see how long we can move. The complex behind me houses three important Jain temples. the Shantinath temple, the Pareshnath temple, and the Adinath temple. From what we have learned, I think worships are still offered here, so we are expecting to see few devotees.
Once you entered the Jain group of temples, you were first greeted by the Shantinath temple. This temple have worships going on still now, and it is a significant temple for the Jain religion.
Now in the Pareshnath temple, this perhaps is the most preserved 10th century Jain temple in Khajuraho. Even though this is a Jain temple, still there are so many Hindu gods and goddesses that are so skillfully sculpted on the exterior of this temple. Now, most interesting feature of this Pareshnath temple, this is a magic square inscribed on the wall. The speciality of the square is it has all the 1 to 16 numbers, and the sum of all the rows, columns, and diagonals give you 34.
This is the main Parshuram temple, and on the door of it there is a Yakshini. Also, there are so many gods and goddesses on the sides and the walls of this temple.
This temple also has lot of sculptures made out of sandstone on the exterior of the temple. There are well-preserved sculptures of Hindu gods and goddesses along with musicians, dancers, and other couples.
The sculptures on this temple are quite well preserved, and the Hindu gods on the wall of a Jain temple shows how much the religious tolerance was there in those days.
A little bit tucked away from the eastern and western group of temples that are more prominent in Khajuraho is the southern group of temples. There are three major temples in the southern group: the Duladev temple, the Bijapur ruins, and the Chaturbhuj temple or the Sunset temple.
Standing in front of the Dhuladev temple, and it is one of the latest temples that was built by the Chandelas in Khajuraho. There are about 87 temples that they built here, but only 22 of them remain right now. This temple is named Dhuladev. Dhula means plume in Hindi, so I'm not sure why it is named so. There is no such explanation that I can find. One more thing is that the walls of this temple have apsaras, warriors, elephants inscribed on it.
Standing inside the Garbhagriha of Dhuladev temple, and the most striking feature of this temple is that it houses not one but 1,000 Shivlingas. So it is believed that if you witness this Shivlinga, you are doing a darshan of 1,000 Shivlingas. And if you go around this temple, you are actually doing a circumference of 1,000 Shivlingas. Wow, isn't that amazing? The Chaturbhuj temple is another distinct temple in the southern group of temples of Khajuraho, and this temple gets its name from the torso portion of the main idol that is inside. Chaturbhuj literally translates to 4 arms, and many Vishnu temples are related to that name. Now, why I say that the torso portion of the idol gives name to this temple, that we'll go in and see. The main idol of the Chaturbhuj temple is very distinctly divided into 3 parts. The lower part represents Sri Krishna, the middle part represents Vishnu, and the face that belongs to Lord Shiva. I don't know how to describe this beautiful structure, and during the sunset, the sun's rays directly appears on the feet of this idol.
This temple is very beautifully decorated with sculptures of goddess Apsaras and deities, and this is the only temple here that faces west. It is said that when the sun sets, the sunlight directly falls on the idol that is inside the temple. Sadly, we cannot experience that because it is a gloomy day, but that would have been a magical thing to witness.
Our last stop for the day leaves us standing in between the ruins of the Bija Mandal temple. It is yet to be excavated. There are ruins, archaeological tools, and maps scattered all around the site. When the excavation is completed, it is estimated that this will surpass all existing temples in Khajuraho. This will be the biggest and the tallest.
We just climbed up a bit, and this seems to be the temple wall. And if the upper part is broken, there are boulders, but at the top you can see Shivlinga that is put there. Other than that, everything here is currently in ruins.
Here we can see the motifs of elephants, beautiful elephants. And I think the sculptures here are even more prominent, even more beautifully decorated than the other temples that we have seen, right, Urvi?
Yeah, it's very intricate.
Yes, there are battle scenes, there are dancers, musicians, people riding horses, heroes going to war. It depicts almost every daily aspect of the people there who used to live and who actually built this temple.
On this very content note of visiting the southern group of temples, we'll end today's vlog. Hope you like our content, and we'll see you in the next one. Till then, please subscribe to our channel Bonkers Note, and do stay tuned as we go bonkers in the next one.